Baruch Hashem, today is day number 264 of our daily study of Rambam, Sefer, HaMitzvos. And in the 3 chapters a day study track of Mishnah Torah, we just started yesterday a new book, Sefer Kinyan, the book of acquisitions. And we started Hilchas Mechira, the laws of sales. Not like sales on a boat, sales like buying and selling. So today we're learning chapters 4, 5, and 6 of those laws. And corresponding to that is our mitzvah for today, one mitzvah, and it is a repeat. I mentioned yesterday that today would be a repeat. I also said there will be many repeats when we're going through these laws. And the reason is, very simply, these laws contain a lot of detail, so it takes many chapters in Mishnah Torah to explain it, but there's not that many different mitzvahs that we're actually studying here. Okay, positive commandment 245 is the mitzvah, the positive commandment to follow Torah's guidelines, laws, rules regarding how property is transferred from one owner to another. Now, yesterday, I spoke about the idea that when you're purchasing a movable object, biblically, it's enough to just give money for it. But rabbinically, one should actually pick it up. It's called mashicha. Pull the object toward you. Take it in hand. What if we're dealing with real estate, which we call karka in Torah law? Karka literally means the ground itself. What if we're selling a piece of ground, a piece of land? So then it's obviously not possible to pick it up in your hand. So how does it transfer ownership? There are different views on this. In our day and age, it is virtually unheard of that somebody should just buy property with cash and it's just an oral contract between the buyer and seller. There's something called a deed. So in Torah law, that documentation, what's called a shtar in rabbinic discourse, that would be a way of effectively transferring the ownership. Also, there's a concept called chazaka. What is chazaka? Chazaka is a very common term in Jewish law. It means a presumption based on some type of evidence, usually a pattern, like something is repeated and it becomes established as a chazaka. But there are other ways of arriving at a chazaka, and particularly in our discussion, how can it be established there is a chazaka of ownership, that this property, this real estate, has transferred from the previous owner, the person that until now we thought was the owner, and it's now the property of the new owner. Who's this guy? Is this his? So one way of establishing that is something called chazaka. And how is the chazaka actually established? Well, making an improvement on the property. So let's say a guy puts a lock on the door, or let's say he makes renovations. So that's considered the act of an owner. And that would establish a chazaka. Oh, this guy is really the owner. That's the way that it's done with real estate that you can't pick up in your hand. Okay, we're going to be continuing with more mitzvahs that are related to mechira, to buying and selling. We'll see you for more, God willing, tomorrow.